Today, we're going to break down a simple, but wow, an incredibly powerful story. It's about a thief, a kind man, and a single act of trust that, well, it changes everything. It's a story that really gets you thinking about what a second chance actually looks like.
And that question right there is really what this whole story is about. We've got this cynical young thief, right? His whole life is built on tricking people. But what happens when he meets someone who just trusts him? Can that kind of simple, unexpected kindness actually get through to a hardened heart? Well, let's dive in and see how it all plays out. All right, so where does this all begin? It starts with a pretty classic setup, a thief sizing up his next target. On one side, we have our narrator, a young guy who's already an expert at what he does, and on the other, his mark, this unassuming writer named Anil. Seems like a straightforward job, right? But this meeting is going to unfold in ways that neither of them could ever see coming.
So, right from the start, our narrator, Hari Singh, he tells us exactly who he is. He's only 15, but don't let that fool you. He's no rookie. He calls himself an experienced and fairly successful hand. This is so important because he's not just stealing to survive. It's the life he's chosen, the thing he's good at.
And this is where you really see the huge gap between what Hari thinks he sees and what's actually going on. In Hari's mind, Anil is the perfect victim. He looks simple, easy to trick, but the reality, Anil is a struggling writer. He's trusting, he's kind, and he's about to become a teacher, not just another mark on a list. So Hari moves in to set his trap, but the whole thing just immediately veers off script. What should have been a simple con quickly turns into something completely different. A relationship built on, of all things, an unexpected bit of kindness. So how does Hari get in? Well, with a simple lie. He walks up to Anil and says he can cook. Now, Anil doesn't have money for a salary, but he agrees to let Hari stay and feed him in exchange for work. The trap is sprung. Hari is officially in the house. And this is the first major turning point in the whole story. Turns out Hari's cooking is so awful that they have to give the food to a stray dog. But does Anil kick him out? Nope, he just laughs. And then he offers to teach Hari not just how to cook, but how to write his name, how to read. This is definitely not how a victim is supposed to act. And for Hari, this is a total revelation. He immediately understands that what Anil is offering him is worth so much more than anything he could ever steal. It's a key to a completely different kind of future. A future where success isn't about what you can take, but about what you can become. But even with this connection growing and this new future dangling in front of him, those old habits, they die hard. And when a real chance to steal some cash finally shows up, that temptation is just too strong to ignore. And that leads us right to the story's climax.
And then, the moment arrives. Anil, our struggling writer, finally catches a break. He sells a book and comes home with a small stack of cash. That night, Hari watches him tuck the money right under his mattress while he sleeps. We're talking about 600 rupees. For Anil, it's a huge win. For a thief like Hari, it's a fortune. He thinks he could live like a king for a week or two on that. Suddenly, that temptation isn't just some abstract idea. It's a real bundle of notes, just sitting there, right under the mattress. And you can almost hear the gears turning in Hari's head as he tries to justify this, right? He tells himself it's time to do some real work. His old job, being a thief. He's convincing himself that he's out of practice, and besides, Anil would probably just waste the money on his friends anyway. He's rationalizing the betrayal he's about to commit.
And just like that, he goes through with it. In the quiet of the night, while Anil is fast asleep, Hari's hand slides under the mattress. He grabs the notes and slips out into the darkness, thinking he's just made a clean getaway. But here's the thing. Stealing the money, that's not the end of the story, not even close. Now that he's alone with what he's done, Hari starts to feel this huge internal conflict. The escape plan is easy, but his conscience, not so much. He gets to the station. The train is right there, pulling away. His escape is literally leaving the platform. All he has to do is jump on. But something stops him. He doesn't even know why, but he just hesitates. And the train disappears down the track, leaving him all alone. And right there, standing alone on that platform, it all comes crashing down on him. He starts thinking about the faces of people he's robbed before. They were always greedy or angry or scared. But Anil would be different. He wouldn't care about the money. He'd just be sad about the broken trust. And for the very first time, Hari actually feels the real weight of what he's done.
And that's when he gets it. In that moment of clarity, he realizes what he's really throwing away. The stolen money? That's temporary. But the education, learning to write whole sentences, becoming a respected man, that could bring him so much more than a few hundred rupees ever could. He realizes he stole the smaller prize.
So, with this whole new perspective, Hari makes a choice. And it's a choice that's way harder than stealing the money was in the first place. He decides to go back. And what happens next is this powerful, quiet ending that's all about what isn't said. You can just picture it, right? He's soaked from the rain, totally nervous, and he creeps back into the room. His heart is pounding as he slides the damp notes back where he found them, just hoping and praying Anil doesn't wake up. The next morning, everything seems normal. Anil makes tea, and then he holds out a 50 rupee note to Hari. He says, "Now you'll be paid regularly." And as Hari takes the money, he feels it. The note is still damp from the rain. And in that 1 second, Hari gets it. He understands everything. Anil knows. He knows the money was stolen, and he knows it was returned. But he doesn't say a single word. There's no accusation, no punishment. Instead, he offers a salary, a real job, and a promise to keep teaching him. He offers a second chance, silently and completely. And that's where the story leaves us, with this big question. Hari started out chasing the value of stolen cash, but what he found was the incredible power of earned trust. It really makes you ask yourself, in your own life, what do you value more? The things you can take in a moment, or the trust you can build for a lifetime?